Good morning, students. Myself Vishal Pandey, and today we are going to start a new chapter altogether from your geography portion, natural vegetation and wildlife. This is very interesting chapter and important as well. So we are going to understand in this chapter many things. Let us start with the next slide. So as you can see, natural vegetation and wildlife are renewable natural resources that are vital for the continued existence of human beings on earth. So natural vegetations are very important because अगर हम इसको यूज़ न करें या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि if we are not using natural vegetation or if we are just making ourselves to suffer. So in that sense we can understand that how natural vegetations are appropriate and important for us. Natural vegetations refers to the plant life that grows naturally in an area without human intervention. Wildlife refers to the animal life found in an area that has not been tamed or domesticated by humans. So natural vegetations and natural wildlife of many wild animals are also in very dangerous situation, hazardous situation nowadays, because people, the human beings, are very much curious to kill them and do afforestation, or you can say deforestation, and by doing that they wanted to confiscate all the lands of the forest. So in that sense we can understand that natural vegetation and wildlife are closely interconnected. Natural vegetation as well as wildlife are interconnected. How? I will tell you later on. Plants are producers. They produce their own food, as you know this, by photosynthesis, and are known as autotrophs. So plants produce their own food and they are called autotrophs. Animals depend directly or indirectly on the plants for their food and cannot produce their own food. For that reason they are called consumer or heterotrophs. So what is autotrophs and what is heterotrophs? I think you all are clear now. Autotrophs means plants prepare their own food, that's why they are called autotrophs, and animals are dependent on plants, that is why they are called heterotrophs. So it is very much clear, autotrophs and heterotrophs. So let us move forward and understand the next slide. Now natural vegetation. What is natural vegetation? Natural vegetation plays a vital role in the sustenance of life. It is useful to humans in many ways. Now natural vegetation is very useful and important as well. Let us see. Like trees produce oxygen which all living beings need for breathing. Human being needs oxygen to breathe, and that is why we have to plant more plants so that we can get full oxygen in our body. They prevent soil erosion and help conserve soil, which is essential for growing crops. In the previous geography chapter I had taught you that how soil erosion takes place and how we have to plant more trees or more plants so that we can stop soil erosion. Trees act as shelter belts. I had already discussed shelter belts. If you want to understand shelter belts, just go through that video which I had already posted in your group. Next is the roots of trees enable percolation of water and help increase and recharge underground water. What it is, I am repeating once again, the roots of trees enable percolation of water and help increase and recharge underground water. The roots are responsible to search for water. If any tree is there, its roots are responsible to fetch out the water from down to earth. Next point is forests moderate temperature and provide moisture through transpiration. If there are forests, they are responsible for moderating the temperature. They will manage the temperature. So in that case also, forests are very essential, are very important. Now let us understand that how distribution of natural vegetation takes place. Last year you learnt about the different kinds of natural vegetation and their pattern of distribution on the surface of the earth. Last year in class 7th you had gone through this, that how many different types of natural vegetations are there and what is the pattern of the distribution on earth's surface. The distribution and the nature of natural vegetation depends on various factors like latitudinal extent, altitude, sunlight, temperature, type of soil and terrain, precipitation, rainfall and the gradient or the slope of the land. So these are the characteristics, these are the various terms at which the natural vegetation distribution is dependent. What are they? Location, latitudinal extent means the location, whether it is latitudinal or altitude, it is basically will be depending, the location will be depending on these criterias as well. Sunlight is a major term, is a major form to different places. सनलाइट जो है वो डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे डिफरेंट रेशियोज़ में मिलती है. इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट पोल, वहाँ पे सनलाइट नहीं है. इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट इक्वेटर, सनलाइट इज़ सफिशिएंट देयर. सो टेम्परेचर के अकॉर्डिंग भी वेजिटेशंस मिलती हैं. टाइप ऑफ सॉइल, द फर्टिलिटी द सॉइल इज़ हैविंग, सो सॉइल इज़ ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ वेजिटेशन. Precipitation, rainfall and everything is important for the growth of different types of natural vegetation. So distribution of different natural vegetations can be found on different places. For example, राजस्थान के थार डेजर्ट में जो नेचुरल वेजिटेशंस मिलती हैं वो उत्तर प्रदेश के वाराणसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में नहीं मिल सकते. So there are certain differences at these places. This temperature is different and everything is different. Because of that we got different natural vegetations. Now let us talk about deforestation. Deforestation is the cutting down of trees, as you all are aware about this word. Increasing population and spiraling demands for land has led to rapid deforestation all over the world. As you can see, people want to get literate, and when they become educated they move, or in the search of education also they move towards city. So they leave the village areas, they leave the countryside and they move towards city. And when they comes to city they have to colonize, they have to make their own house. For that they need land. So they used to buy land and they used to make they try to make their houses. So in that cases people used to buy land. So farmers are selling their lands and people are making their houses, industries, schools, organizations, etc. and etc. In that case deforestation has resulted in soil erosion on a massive scale. इसकी वजह से सॉइल इरोज़न बहुत हो रहा है, क्योंकि फॉरेस्ट अगर नहीं रहेंगे तो जो सॉइल है वो या तो लैंडस्लाइड भी हो सकती है या सॉइल इरोज़न भी हो सकता है. सो इन दैट कंडीशन वी नीड टू प्लांट मोर ट्रीज़. With no trees to hold the soil in place, rain takes away the fertile topsoil from the land, leaving it leached and devoid of nutrients. So nutrients are taken away by rain, because if forests are not there, if trees are not there, soil cannot stay, because rain is very powerful. It will take away all the fertility of the topsoil. The rainwater runs off the surface of the land so rapidly that it is unable to seep into the ground. This results in the lowering of the water table in the area. If there are dams in the area, they get silted up rapidly, as there are no roots to hold the soil together and prevent erosion. सपोज़ करिए कि अगर डैम्स ना हो, जो डैम्स बनते हैं गवर्नमेंट बिल्ड करती है, if dams are not there, then who will control the water level. So as far as dams are concerned, they play an important role to control the water, जिससे कि हम flood से बचते हैं. So in that case we need to follow the rules and regulations, and we have to plant more trees so that soil erosion cannot take place. So deforestation is also responsible for soil erosion and for destroy of the wildlife and the natural vegetation. Watch this video as many times as you can. Thank you so much.